What I want to talk about on Numbani is pretty much just the comparison between the difference in styles between how EnVyUs and Panthera attack this point A. So this is EnVyUs on attack. And you'll see that they do a lot of rotating. It's very positional based. They pretty much always do this. Whenever I've seen EnVyUs play Numbani, they rotate through the right-hand side and they'll like rush underneath. They'll speed boost underneath, hook around the backhand side, come up these stairs towards the back, and then split through the tunnel to either go and take control of the high ground. They really prioritize taking control of the high ground on Numbani because it gives you massive positioning. You can deny the defenders who are up there as well, knock them down onto the low ground, and that's your point to attack. Whereas other teams will just either go for like straight dives or find first kills, but EnVyUs really prioritize positioning first of all. So they have a little peek, see where everyone's positioned, realize they're on the right hand side up there, and so instead of rushing underneath them on the right hand side, they decide to go through this lower area. They actually find Rascal kind of halfway through. That wasn't their intention, but it's quite nice just to force a translocate out of him. And then they're going to speed boost here and go into this lower passageway. And only Mickey gets caught by this fucking biotic grenade. Only Mickey gets it. For some reason, my brain isn't working. Only Mickey gets caught by the biotic grenade there, and they're able to kind of heal him up. They've got Chip's Iron on the Ana for more sustain, so that they're able to actually take a position like this, and he's better when he's on the high ground in that position. It's less easy to be like knocked off when he's set up there. And they lose Effect, who was doing a bit of damage on the point and then tries to come back in, and Mickey's Matrix is down, I assume, and Chips can't quite get the heals onto him, and he ends up getting taken down. I think Birdring comes in and melees him, and then whatever towards the end, along with a bit of a tickle from Fisher. And they just kind of carry on with the plan here of rotating to get the position, because Effect is the kind of tracer that plays the backlines anyway, and he can reconnect with them pretty quickly. And they're going to take a while, like, rotating through. And crucially, Kongdoo Panthera can't, like, apply the pressure. Because normally when you get the first pick in these situations, you just force a team fight, and you're probably going to win it. Like, if instead they had lost this while taking the top left-hand side from their perspective on Numbani, they kind of would have been fucked, because Panthera would have just dived on them and forced a fight, and they're 5v6, and they're lacking the tracer pressure, and they probably would have lost and had to reset. But because EnVyUs are inside, it's really difficult for Panthera to be able to engage on them. They're miles away at this point. They chose to kind of back off towards the point, or play around the point, once they got the pick on, or just as they were getting the pick onto Effect. So it's not like they can now like chase them through the tunnels or something. There's nowhere that they can intercept them or dive into them. You know, what they're supposed to do, just like run through here and try and force an engagement. EnVyUs will just run away. So there's no way that they can force the fight here 6v5. So EnVyUs just carry on. And as I said, Effect can meet up with them later. So you see them take position here. And actually Panthera kind of aren't really sure what to do here, I think. They're not sure whether EnVyUs have rotated up top left, gone round the back into their spawn area, or are just kind of waiting for Effect to come back in and then re-engage onto them. So Birdring has to scout a little bit instead of actually knowing where they've gone. You know, he obviously hears people going up top. He doesn't know how many of them. He doesn't know whether there's going to be flankers waiting around outside or something. So this is like a popular place for people to play from as well. Not really sure why. I don't really like this position, but a lot of teams try and play from there when they're on the attack, like force all the fighting around here. I guess because then they can fight in a choke point defensively. And so Birdring has to scout for a little bit. The rest of his team's gone inside, and you can see, or you will see in a second, if you can even see these sight lines with the low bit rate, that Kongdoo Panthera have looped around. They went inside. Now they're coming up top, so they're kind of just following EnVyUs, but they're a lot slower than them. And they're going to leave Mickey inside just to kind of tie them up for a while and delay as the rest of EnVyUs takes position. So I think that's Chips. That might be Coco, actually. This, like, blob of a red dot. And basically, Chips is going to come around here. Coco is going to play around the point so that he can jump up onto any of them because he realizes that there's nobody there. Timer's already got position over here. And Mickey is still inside, just kind of tying people up for now. And Panthera spend a lot of their time focusing on Mickey And Waka Waka comes out up top and realizes that Taimu's already got position, and Effect's there with him because the rotation takes so long, so that Effect actually has the ability to reconnect with them. So this is an easy pick onto Waka Waka in the end. They spent so long trying to get Mickey out of the mech, he did a great job tying them all up, that they're now all on the low ground as well, and everybody on EnVyUs has got great positioning and can basically just clean them up. Like Taimu's got such a great position to do damage to everybody. The Chips and Coco, who were sat up here, have got a great position to be able to stop the aggression that comes into them from Fisher, and then get a bit of a counter dive and they take out Luffy. Effect runs around on the floor and wrecks Birdring. I mean, this is just like really well executed and shows you the advantage that you get from getting positioning early on in this fight by going on like a rap play in Numbani. Now, if we contrast that to how Kongdoo Panthera approached Numbani's first point, just to give you some kind of an idea, obviously you'll have watched the VOD, but or maybe you haven't. EnVyUs make their way through the street stage. They actually have a really nice play multiple times where they manage to get the defense matrix out of Void and then nano boost Taimu to get massive amounts of value out of his nano visor, even when they're playing into a diva. They seem to be very good at playing around Void's defense matrix, really putting a lot of pressure on him, making sure that he putting a lot of pressure on him in the sense that they're forcing him to use up all of his resources, and then they just pop the nano visor out and they wreck everyone, which I thought was really good. I haven't really seen that many teams be able to properly keep track of the enemy's defense matrix to still get a lot of value out of nanovisors in this meta. Okay, so and then they managed to take it almost all the way to the end. So if we take a look at how Kongdoo Panthera approached this. Wait a second. Okay, so this is Kongdoo Panthera attacking. And they just run the default, same as EnVyUs were running, except Luffy's on the Zen. And EnVyUs are running a Sombra on defense with Harry Hook making the switch over. But none of this really matters, because what Kongdoo Panthera do is prioritize getting a really early pick onto Coco, who is, as you might have been able to see, hiding right there. And this is a super popular place for a Winston to be, and Coco's been in this multiple times when they've been on stream playing Numbani, and I am 100% sure that Panthera knew that he was going to be there, because they instantly get the pick on him and absolutely abuse the fact that they've put in this kind of preparation beforehand. You can see Mickey is playing down the lane here, and there's Taimu, so they're spotting them out. They know which way they're going. Taimu's getting a little bit of poke on them. Sorry, not Taimu, Harry Hook. And Mickey can either like zoom back up to help out and peel for Coco. He can zoom up there to try and help Harry. For example, if they were running like a Genji Tracer kind of composition, he can help Harry out in that situation. He's basically just got a lot of movement around there. But if you know where Coco's hiding, you can basically just wreck him. And Luffy delivers balls slapped sweatily across his face. He just charges the balls. Luffy right clicks, holds them up, and as they come in here, he just unleashes them into Coco's face. Look at that. He's just like, kapow. And he just wrecks him. He's down to half health like before he can even blink. And then he's got Birdring and Rascal right up in his face as well. They're just like on him before he can blink. And look at his health before Mickey even gets there. Like, Mickey is fast. He reacts very quickly, to be honest. So if you just watch this in real time, knowing that Luffy, Birdring, and Rascal are about to focus Taimu, Mickey's quick, but he's not quick enough to actually save him. He goes down so early on. And look, there's Mickey immediately, you know? Almost immediately anyway. But Coco's already on, what is that, like 50 health? And he's just easy pickings. There's no way that you can keep him alive. This health pack down here is hacked as well. So if he makes it to that, he's probably got a good chance at staying alive. So he was expecting just to take a little bit of poke and he can back off. But Panthera know exactly where he's going to be. Absolutely ass blast him. And that's just the point. Like, that's the point. What else are you supposed to do there? For EnVyUs, it's open, you know? Taimu doesn't have anywhere near his EMP. He doesn't even have a Winston to charge his EMP anymore. they've got good position, yeah, but they don't have a main tank. Mickey's already gone in to like try and peel for Coco, failed, and now they can put pressure on Mickey. So this is, you know, what are EnVyUs supposed to do in this position? Kongdoo Panthera basically won it just by getting that first pick super early on. So they get Mickey because he's the solo tank, and you know, defense matrix only lasts so long. They manage to demech him and kill him just as Coco spawns. Then Coco's the only tank there, and they manage to get the kill onto him. So you can see the difference in style there. There's no attempt to try and wrap play and get early position or anything from Panthera. They're just like, we know where one of your players is going to be, and this is exploitable positioning, so we're going to shit on him. And they shit on him. And that's it. The point is just cracked open. So then Taimu at 93% of his ultimate actually switches off, which I thought was really quite weird, because an EMP in the street stage is still probably going to be able to get you the win, and there's quite a lot of mini health packs around here. I feel like you could make that work. It's probably not something that they've scrimmed or like tried, or maybe they've tried it and they don't like how sparse the health kits are or something. So Taimu makes the swap off, loses his ultimate, and Harry Hook makes the swap off as well. So now they've got a snowball developing because they lost it so early on as well. They got no ultimates generated on, like, they've got no defensive ultimate. Taimu's nowhere near his, so they're in a pretty poor position, and they basically just get snowballed all the way through the streets. Despite the fact that Effect is playing really well. Effect up to this point in the series was probably playing better than Birdring. Birdring kind of turns it around in the second half of the series and ends up outperforming him, but both of them were playing insanely.